Everyone had already arrived at Dragon Capital Academy. One by one, they dismounted from their massive eagles, their cloaks fluttering in the wind as their boots touched the ground. The moment they landed, they stepped forward, saluted respectfully, and welcomed Lu Fan. Lu Fan carried the gold emblem of the Zhengong Griffin Corps, a force that served directly under the command of the Marquis of Zhanbei. One of the officers spoke first, his voice steady. "Welcome, sir. We've been sent here to receive you and the battleship as well." Lu Fan looked at them carefully. As his gaze settled on one particular officer, a memory surfaced. Yes, this was the same Golden Emblem officer who had once taken charge during the rebel attack that shook the nation. Realizing this, Lu Fan immediately took out a precious item and handed it over. "Commander Zheng," he said calmly, "this is a gift for your hard work. Thank you for everything. The nation's 11 standard magical warships are now here. Please accept them." Commander Zheng lowered his eyes and examined the object in his hand. It was known as a storage ring, an artifact capable of creating an independent space-time storage dimension. Inside it was something extraordinary. A light Ganga-class magical guiding tactical warship. The warship was equipped with 36 sacred magic guiding cannons and a total phase shield system. When its military judgment system was fully charged, its destructive power was said to be enough to reduce even a mountain like Mount Tsingrao to steam. At the heart of the ship lay something even more remarkable, an unbound intelligent tactical core capable of operating and controlling the entire vessel on its own. Commander Zheng studied the item carefully, turning it slightly in his hand as faint magical light reflected across its surface. The firepower module is highly professional," he murmured. "And the power core? Everything about this is excellent, truly remarkable." Receiving something of this caliber clearly delighted him. A satisfied smile appeared on his face as he looked back at Lu Fan. "Lu Fan, after inspecting it, we've confirmed that all 11 warships are in excellent condition. They are equipped with some of the finest systems we've seen. This will greatly assist our nation in researching foreign warship technology." He paused for a moment, his tone becoming more formal. "For your outstanding contribution, you deserve an equivalent military merit award. Please hand me your medal." Hearing the commander's words, Lu Fan immediately reached into his belongings and took out the medal. "Here it is," he said calmly. "This is the Griffin Corps Golden Military Merit Medal, high quality, complete with its official accessories." The medal gleamed faintly as he held it forward, a symbol not only of rank but of the battles and achievements that had brought him here. Commander Zheng accepted it with respect, knowing that such honors were never given lightly. But then, looking at Lu Fan, the commander took out something special and handed it to him. "The Golden Husband insignia you have is the highest medal for your rank," he explained calmly. "It can't be upgraded further." A slight smile appeared on his face as he continued. "So, the Griffin Corps designed a unique medal especially for you. It represents all your achievements and contributions." He handed the medal with both hands. "It's known as the Griffin Corps Special Military Merit Medal. It's a very high-quality honor." Lu Fan took it. Without hesitation, he placed it on his shoulder as if it were just another routine duty. "It's just a formality," Lu Fan said softly. "Serving the country is more precious than any medal." Hearing this, the commander looked at him with renewed respect. He straightened his position and immediately saluted. "The handover process is now complete. If there are no further incidents, I will withdraw my team and report immediately." With that, he turned to leave. But just as he was about to leave, Lu Fan quickly turned to him and called out, "Commander, wait a minute, just a minute." Hearing Lu Fan's words, the commander paused for a moment. The air around them grew quieter, as if even the wind was listening. Lu Fan stepped closer and leaned toward him, lowering his voice to a whisper. "Besides the battleships, I also have an important idea." He paused briefly before continuing. "But this idea is a bit dangerous. If we go through with it, the consequences could be serious even for the senior leadership. It might not be something that a single person can decide on alone." The commander was visibly startled. His brows tightened slightly as he looked at Lu Fan. "What?" he said. "Are you saying even the Corps commander can't make this decision? Then who exactly do you want to speak with? Tell me directly." Lu Fan met his gaze without hesitation. "I want to speak directly with the 3 senior leaders of the Regan Nation. Officer Zheng, can you help me arrange that?" For a moment, the commander looked conflicted. Then he let out a quiet breath, his expression turning serious. I understand what you're saying, he replied slowly, and the commander did instruct us to take anything you say seriously. He turned and gestured forward. I'll report this immediately. Please follow me. Lu Fan followed the commander without saying anything more. Nearly 2 hours later, they arrived at the Dragon High-Level Government District. The place was heavily guarded and carried an air of authority and power. The commander led the way through several corridors before finally stopping outside an important room. He pushed the door open slightly, then gestured for Lu Fan to enter. Inside sat a man Lu Fan had met before. His name was Han Fei Bai. He was one of the senior leaders of Dragon Capital and also one of the 3 elders of Dragon Rest. To Lu Fan, however, he was simply Elder Han. As soon as Elder Han saw him, a faint smile appeared on his face. Ah, Lu Fan, he said warmly. It's been quite a long time since we last met. I've also heard that you presented the Griffin Corps with a remarkable gift. He leaned back slightly, studying Lu Fan with interest. And now it seems you have an interesting idea you want to share with me. Lu Fan nodded in agreement. Yes. The atmosphere in the room grew calm and serious. Lu Fan walked closer, pulled a chair, and sat down, preparing to explain his plan. Across from him, Elder Han picked up his cup of coffee and took a slow sip, just as he always did whenever he was about to listen to something important. Lu Fan explained everything in detail, his thoughts, the risks, and the opportunity hidden within the plan. He spoke calmly, but every word carried weight. After listening quietly, Elder Han finally stood up. Follow me, he said. Without another word, he walked toward another room, deeper inside the building. Before entering, he turned to the security guards and gave a strict order. Stand watch outside, no one is allowed to come near. The guards immediately obeyed. As Lu Fan observed the scene, a thought crossed his mind. Even his 4 personal bodyguards, the 4 unmatched swordsmen, are staying outside. That means my idea is truly being taken seriously. A faint sense of satisfaction rose within him. Lu Fan stepped inside and gently closed the door behind them. Elder Han walked over to his large chair, the one that clearly belonged to the man in charge, and sat down. Then he gestured toward the seat across from him. Sit. Lu Fan took the chair. Elder Han folded his hands together for a moment before speaking again. Lu Fan, it's not that we never considered the idea you mentioned, he said slowly. In fact, we have thought about it many times. He paused, his expression thoughtful. But we never had the right reason or the right justification to take action. Without that, making a move would have been difficult. Lu Fan responded immediately. Elder Han, the Lord of Tianyan Palace has already attacked my territory with warships. That alone has put me in great danger. Under these circumstances, this might be the most appropriate solution. Elder Han listened carefully, but instead of reacting with excitement, he remained calm. He leaned back slightly in his chair, thinking it through before speaking. It truly is a good solution, he admitted, but if we decide to act, we must carry it out completely, without hesitation. His eyes sharpened as he continued. And judging from what happened with the Taiki nation, Lu Fan, you are the only one capable of doing this. For a moment, the room fell quiet again. You will not be asked to act without reward. Once this plan succeeds, the benefits will return to our dragon nation, and it will strengthen the nation's territory and future. Then his tone softened slightly, though the authority in his voice remained. And whatever wishes you may have, so long as they do not threaten the foundation of the country, I will do my best to fulfill them. Hearing those words, Lu Fan felt a surge of excitement, as if he had just discovered a hidden treasure. He looked slightly stunned and quickly asked, Elder Han, are you really saying that you will grant any request I make? Elder Han nodded calmly and explained, Yes, that's correct. As long as you complete this mission properly and eliminate the threat on the eastern border of the Dragon Nation once and for all, your request will be treated as a request of the nation itself. Those words filled Lu Fan with even greater satisfaction. He didn't hesitate. In that case, Lu Fan said, I need a large amount of pure life energy materials. The higher the quality, the better. There are no restrictions on the type, and the greater the quantity, the more helpful it will be for me. Elder Han didn't respond immediately. Instead, he fell into deep thought. The Life Dragon King requires immense energy to plant a life seed, he thought to himself. Most of that energy currently comes from blessed light sources or from the transformation of high-level enemy remains. And even then, the limit is only one seed per year. Elder Han looked at Lufan for a moment, then finally nodded. All right, I agree, he said firmly. We'll allocate funds from the National Treasury and gather the major clans to collect the resources you need. We will assemble everything. He paused, then added with clear determination, as long as you are satisfied, I will make sure you receive whatever you require. Hearing this, Lufan reached forward and shook Elder Han's hand. Good, Elder Han, he said with a slight smile. Elder Han smiled in return. Yes, this will certainly be a good cooperation. Come, sit down. Let's talk about the first step in detail. You should also receive the list of those rats and the locations of their hideouts. Lufan listened carefully and began thinking deeply about the plan ahead. The two of them sat across from each other, discussing strategies and possibilities for a long time. Outside the room, everything appeared calm and ordinary. But inside, between an experienced elder and a rising young figure, a secret meeting was quietly shaping something much larger. What they were planning would soon stir a fierce storm across the eastern region.